scrolling through the Flat Earth Society because I was interested what they looked like. And I found all these maps. So here's what I figured out. A, they don't even know what the Earth looks like. And B, that historical maps can look very interesting. So that's exactly what I'm going to look at today. In this video, we are going to learn about 9 historical maps and some more stuff that will be bound to interest you. Without further ado, let's begin. So now let's look at the maps on the thumbnail. This is one I found from the Flat Earth Society. This square and stationary Earth map, which basically is a skating rink Earth map. I say that because it reminds me of the skate park and all those thingamajigs. Anyway, basically what they're saying is that the earth is flat, and the reason we have north and south is that north is bulging upwards out of the earth, making it, well, north. This is the highest point. South, below the equator, we got south where it bulges downward. But after that, it bulges, the edges go so high, they create the Antarctic wall of ice, which no one can ever get past. It also keeps all the Earth's water from going out. This is the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen. But next, let's try this one. The island of California. Imagine California, imagine Silicon Valley and all those other places disconnected from the rest of the USA by the strait. People actually thought this was real. Before people really ventured into California, they used to think this part was an island. This didn't include just California. This also included Baja California and Sur Baja California. They thought that it was a big island off the coast of the USA. However, when people ventured there, they discovered there was no strait. However, they would still use this map because popularity until later in 1860. Next, we have 2 propaganda postcards. These historical propaganda postcards can really teach us about different historical events. Like this propaganda postcard saying, talking about Poland and how Germany is about to conquer it. Some things I've noticed is that Königsberg is now tremendously closer to the rest of Germany. I also noticed that there an eagle is shown venturing over the country. And honestly, that makes me think of Denmark because, well, it's in the exact same place as Denmark. Also, Czechoslovakia is not shown as part of Germany. Well, actually, technically it wasn't. They put up a different government in there. Well, they just conquered Poland. Although there was the Polish underground state where Poland was an underground country. Anyway, there's also this one asking Indians to join the army against the UK. Now, I don't really understand this one, as India actually used peaceful protest to fight back. Like Mahatma Gandhi just ventured up and then ventured down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up. Next, anyway, we have this map. This map was sold on a. This map made in the 17th century was sold for about $1 million. And it is a map of Ireland. The first thing I noticed is that Ireland is now east. It now shows east as up. If you flip this, you'll see that Ireland now looks more like Ireland. I noticed a tiny lake near the bottom of Ireland, and Northern Ireland is now shown as tremendously bigger. Anyway, next we have this historical map from a book about World War I. The first things I notice is that Canada is now labeled the Dominion of Canada, even though it already got independence. It's just called Canada. Then we also have the Ottoman Empire, which surprisingly is just called Turkey. Same with Saudi Arabia, just being called Arabia. Anyway, this is a map of Taiwan where east is up. This is a map of Taiwan where west is up. Wait a second, that looks nothing like Taiwan. Well, this is in the 13th century. You can't blame them. This is a map of Taiwan. This depicts Taiwan as a circular country surrounded by a wall. Next are two peninsulas, I think representing other parts. And I think the larger peninsula it is in represents the island of Taiwan, connected to the rest of China. P.S. That's not true. By a small strip of land. The two peninsulas to the north, by the way, remember west is up. I think is Korea, and to the east, I think those islands are Japan. I'm not sure though. Next, a map of the Chernobyl explosion. Basically, Russia made a nuke, they tested it out, it exploded. And it affected basically all of Europe, except for Portugal and Iceland. Algeria, Libya, Egypt, and Tunisia, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Syria, Iraq, and Turkey, almost going into Afghanistan. For some reason, not Turkey, Iran. For some reason, Iran is called Turkey in this map. Next is a pictograph map of Eurasia. Basically, it shows